everybody. I've been getting a lot of questions about how do I start to backtest an indicator. And so I'm just going to show you kind of the process that I go through. And this first step, I'm not using any backtesting software. I just like to eyeball it. So what I do is I set up a tally. I put down my indicator and my settings, and then I'm just going to use my ATR, my no-nonsense ATR, and count wins and losses. That's how I start. I just like to get a big, high-level eyeball, evaluation. So what we're looking at today is the Euro USD daily. And the indicator that I'm testing is this one right here, and that is the DPO histogram indicator. And it's just on the default settings for now. I always start with default as my baseline, and then I start to tweak to see if I can get better results. So we're just starting out, and this line right here is at the beginning of May of last year. So it's about a year back. So how do I do this? Well, I just go along. Okay, so I go along, and you can see here, right here, we had an indicator trigger. We went from sell to buy. So at this point, I'm going to test it. I'm going to click on it and test it. And as you can see, that would have been a win because the take profit was hit before the stop loss. And this is the typical 1 ATR take profit and 1.5 ATR stop loss. So I'm going to tally that up as a win and move along. Okay, so I'm going to keep going, keep going, keep going. Now at this point, we have a sell, and it's a small one. So if we check out our number here, we can see, though, that it is 0.0025. One of the rules that I like to use when I'm using indicators like this that are kind of hard to see, if it's not 0.0010, I don't take it, but in this case I would. So I'm going to sell there. And unfortunately, oh no, actually that one did profit as well because it hit the take profit first. Came very close. Okay, so there's another tick on the win side. Okay, so let's go along again, a long downtrend, and again we're not doing two trades. We're only doing one. Okay, so this is a small. Let's see what this one is. That's a 0.20, so I would have taken that one. Okay, so at that point I would have bought, and that was a win. So this indicator is doing pretty good so far. Okay, our next signal comes here. Okay, and that would have been a loss though, because it hit the stop loss prior. So there's our first loss. So far we have 3 wins and 1 loss. So when you have a situation like this, you have to remember that when this thing triggers, you don't know what else is coming down the road. So this looks pretty good. And is it over the 1.0? Let's see. Yep. So I would have taken that. That would have been a buy, and that one would have been another loss. So that's how I eyeball it, and I would continue to go through the whole thing and get all my tally marks, okay, and then see what my win rate ratio is. So the next thing I want to do is I want to start combining it with other indicators to see if it'll give me better results. And hopefully these other indicators will start to filter out some of those losing trades. So this is how that's done. This is the same chart with our same no-nonsense Forex ATR. This is the same DPO histogram, but now I've added the Wada Atar explosion on here. And this happens to be the one that has the added ATR and volume calculation. So let's take a look now what we get. So our first signal is here. Okay, as we can see, we have the blue signal, and we have enough volume. So again, that would be a take, and I am going to put down my results. So I put a tick mark down. And I move along till I get the next signal. Just like before, I'm looking for these signals, but notice here, this one was a loss last time. Okay, this one was small. Okay, it was above the 0.001, so we took it. But if you notice, our way down here is keeping us out of that. Okay, so not taking that signal, not taking that signal. Now, what I haven't figured out yet is if I'm going to wait for them to come align, but I don't think I'm going to go that far. That's a bridge too far when our volume finally caught up. So let's go to our next signal. Okay, so here, this one was a 0.2, so I would have taken that one, and as you can see, we had volume, and that would have won. So I put that down as in the winning side. Let's continue on. So here we have a signal going down, and this one we took, but notice down here our way is keeping us out. So that's telling me that my volume indicator is being very helpful. Okay, remember this one we took because this one was 0.24, and I said, remember, you don't see this whole half. So that looked like an entry, but look, our way would have kept us out. Okay, so here's another entry right here. Okay, but our way is not there. So here we wait until we have the volume, and then we go in, and that would have been a winner. Would have been a winner. So it looks like the combination of our volume is a pretty good combination here. Okay, so here we have a change in direction, but look at this, no volume. Okay, so we don't have volume at all until here, and unfortunately that is way too far from our signal change. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So even though that would have been a really nice drop, we're not taking it because our volume wouldn't let us get in. So let's look at the next one. Okay, so here we have our signal on that candle right there, and we do have the volume, and we take that and we win. And I would go through this until I had them all done, and then I would compare. I would compare my win-loss ratio of the indicator alone versus the win-loss ratio of the indicator with volume. After that, and it looks like I've got a nice combination, I'm going to move on to actually back testing and getting real numbers so I can see my profit factor and my win-loss ratio in software. So more on that later.